Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to go over the third dimensional arena of the season. Unfortunately I didn't post the second one of the video because I had horrible teams, but I will still post the video once I get time to edit it. But yeah, unfortunately I had horrible draft and I was out really quickly, so you will see that one too probably later this week. But starting off in the third draft, we're not looking good either. The shared hero is a really strong one, and the heroes we randomly got are pretty terrible, all apart the King Arthur, and Arthur himself isn't all that amazing. For the starting relics, we have Hand of Tyr and the Crown of Purity, which is really nice. Zephyr Spear is usable, but what we're going to try and do now is we're going to go ahead and select our own relic, which I don't want to be gotten from the free one. So I want my gate to be 7 stars and I want it to be selected. Although gate 7 stars doesn't really work, so actually having a 7 stars your own tree is better than any other relic, but unfortunately since the gate doesn't work, I'm not sure if I really even want it. So something better would be probably a telescope 9 stars, or even a banner 9 stars, or even the chest, but I will go again with this one. So for the heroes it's pretty flexible nowadays, so it's not really Lucifer all the way the safest pick, because you can really just use anything. So I do have to deploy the heroes unfortunately, but yeah, save, and yeah, now we have our own selectable hero, so we should our own selectable relic, so we shouldn't really be getting the planar gate offered, but we will see how that actually goes. The group one is pretty solid. We have Leandra and Narissa. Those two are pretty solid combo. Unfortunately, we don't have anything else to pair them with. So apart from that, two solid heroes, but nothing too amazing. Let's go to the group 2, which is also pretty solid, but I think group 1 is slightly better, although that knight is a really strong hero. And group 3 is the terrible group. All of these three heroes are F tier pretty much, and then we have Philia, which is usable, but not something you would want. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Leandra and Narissa because I like them more than that knight and Wukong for the dimensional arena. Round 2 is already far better. We have Asmodeus, we have Loki, and Asmarina. All three heroes are really amazing. Dahlia is an unusable hero, especially with our phantoms, so it's not a really worst option at all. Group 2 is Behemoth and Eudora. Gin is usable hero, but Solomon really is not. So I'm not going to go with group 2 just because group 1 is so overly stacked, and group 3 is also pretty good. We have the natural Lucifer with Odin and Hecate, and Ra even, so group 3 is also looking real strong. Unfortunately I think I like group 1 a bit more because I can pair Marina and Loki together and they alone are almost unbeatable duo. And then we have Astrid for our Asmodeus, and we can also use Bastet with them, and we have Dahlia for the phantoms if we want to use them. Although group 3 is also really strong, we can use Hecate with Narissa. Lucifer fits any team. Ra is pretty usable but not ideal, and Odin can be used with our Mystifiers in the future. So overall I don't think you can be wrong with going group 3 or group 1 either, because it's really up to you and your playstyle, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the group 1. For the relics, we have some of the terrible choices in the group 1. We are not going to even look at them. The group 2 is already better. We have the Gleipnir and the Telescope. Telescope is one of the better and best relics in the game. And then we have the Scepter and the Loki's Crown and Kusanagi, which I think I'm going to pick because I do like Scepter, because it kind of allows me to play against Mystifiers and against Lucifer. I do have Loki's Crowns, which means I have Loki, so it's pretty solid. And then Kusanagi, unfortunately not that strong, but it's still usable. Group 2 is also pretty solid because of the Telescope and Gleipnir, although I like the Group 3 a bit more, although it's a bit niche, whereas Group 2 is far more usable in any other team, especially with Mystifiers, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Group 1 for now. Round 4 for the hero selection, we have Ascended, Busted, and Elovin. Elune and Ellie are pretty terrible heroes, so we're not even looking at them. We have Elovin, which is solid for the Phantoms, and she pairs nicely with Narissa because of how many actions she does, and Elovin kind of follows them, so with her Awaken passive. And we have Ascended, Busted for our Mystifiers, which is pretty solid, but we're going to go look Group 2 is pretty solid, but I don't think it's what I'm looking for because I don't really have dooms for Sarija and Yushta. Emily is pretty solid, but Bahamut is also pretty solid. But Group 1 feels slightly better just because it kind of strengthens my Mystifers and Phantoms, so it's pretty tight, I would say, in terms of power. We have 3 usable heroes against 2 usable heroes, whereas Ascended Bastard kind of counts like 2 because she's quite strong. And Group 3 is Ying Zheng, pretty much only Ying Zheng. I don't really count any of the other 3 heroes, they're pretty bad, so I think I'm gonna go with the Group 1, although I do like Group 2, so I can use Sarija and Yushta with Marina for the Heart of the Demon paired with splash damage from her. So it's kind of good actually. I will go with the Group 2. It's not all that terrible. I can have 3 usable heroes against only 2. And the last hero selection round, we have all EV heroes from the first group. So really nice, really amazing. Thank you, game. Group 2 is Pandora and Makaria, usable heroes, but not something I'm looking forward to. And then Group 3 is Sheng, Janna, Eudora, and Talos. All 4 heroes are usable, so we're definitely going to go ahead and pick them. And then we have the Relics. Group 1 is solid, but not ideal. Group 2 is pretty terrible, and Group 3 is slightly better. Group 1 offers me Chest, Magatama, and Cauldron, and the newest relic, Divine Plume, which is pretty horrible. And then Group 2 is also horrible, so only Group 3 is really the usable relic. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of Avenger relics, but I will make something work. So we're going to go ahead and select our teams. We're going to clear all of these, and then we're going to sort them by Mystifers. I'm going to use all of these Mystifers. Then I'm going to see what I have in here. So I have Narissa, Janna. Let's see what kind of phantoms we have. Dahlia. And unfortunately, no more phantoms. This is going to be the third team very likely. With Sarija and Yushta, Sheng too. Maybe I could use Arthur actually instead of the Eudora, because Eudora does need the Glorians to be actually fairly usable. But this team is 3 Glorians. Is actually 5 Glorians and 3 Dooms, whereas the other one was pretty split. We're going to use the telescope on our Mystifers. Obviously, we have many demons here, or should have many demons here for us to ult. And we could even use Bahamut to increase their HP. But I will have to see which hero I will pick. Unfortunately, this draft wasn't all that good, which can be clearly seen because we don't really have any synergy or good heroes. So unfortunately, not a really strong draft. But what can I other use? I could use actually the Bahamut in here for the HP increase, so I can have Dooms have more reflect and the CC on this team as well. And I could use Sheng in here, which is pretty terrible. I will use Sheng in here actually. So although I would like to use a demon hero in here. How many demons ult on this telescope? So only 1, so actually it doesn't matter for Leandra. So yeah, I will use Sheng in here for the additional Phantom Illusion because I have speed advantage from Asmodeus anyway. And I can use Leandra in here, which will help trigger Narissa because the summon will spawn. And I will use the combo of Dahlia Leandra swap, I think, in here. And this team should be done now, so I'm not really missing anyone in here. For the relics in here, I'm not sure which ones I want to run. I definitely want to run the Scepter in here to cleanse the enemy Lucifers. So I will run the Scepter in here, probably the Sarcophagus and the Veil. And here I will run the Gleipnir, and I will also run the other one, which is the... I think I will run the Planar Gate in here in position 2 even for the damage increase. So hopefully this team does pretty solid. And in this team I'm going to try and pick Hera. I think Hera would suit me nicely in this team. So we're going to go ahead and pick our own Hera. I'm not going to pick Fate. I don't think Fate does much for me, unfortunately. But Hera kind of does. I could pick Lucifer in here and have her be a main carry, but I don't think Lucifer is all that strong anymore as she used to be. So I think the tree matters a lot. I did not get the tree, so unfortunately it's not really a promising draft. So yeah, and I totally forgot, but I have to kind of use the Avengers relic synergy in here, which I don't think I have. So I'm going to move the But Planner Gate doesn't really make sense in here. I want this team to die, and Leandra and Janna is a really, really terrible combo. I should only have one of them in here. I will use Marlena for this, unfortunately, because Marlena is a phantom after all, and she is solid but not something good. And I will end up using probably Leandra in here somewhere. Let me see if I can actually slot her in even anywhere. It seems that I can't, which is really, really unfortunate. Maybe I don't do this. Maybe it's really tough creating teams when you have horrible options. So I'm not sure where I can actually fit Leandra. Maybe I bench Talos, but that feels kind of wrong and not ideal. So Plundergate doesn't really make any sense in that team, and I don't have any other Avenger relics. So I will have to use these two actually, so this one and which other, this one, Hand of Tears. So yeah, that's really only thing I can actually use. I will use the scepter in here, and I will use the Loki's crown into the Kusanagi. So I'm not sure if I will later on change the Hera selector to something else, maybe if I have better ideas out there hitting me later, but I don't think that will happen. I'm not sure where I can run Leandra even. Maybe I will bench Bahamut later for the Leandra. I will see how the fights go, because Leandra can kind of be a enabler for the Marina and Loki because of her initial action. So yeah, I will try with Leandra actually for the first day, and then later I will swap on to Bahamut and see how it goes. So yeah, those are the teams that I have made. I don't think it's really promising. This season wasn't really all that good to me. But yeah, it is what it is. We will see how it goes. I should have definitely picked the tree in here. I think that's what I'm going to do actually. Because as I said, the Planetary Gate doesn't work. 7-star Planetary Gate doesn't offer you the immunity it should. So it's definitely going to be tree. And what? Okay, it's actually working. So good. I will actually use it in position 3 because I want CC to be removed from my Mystifier. So yeah. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully you have far better luck than me, and yeah, good luck in your battles. See you in the next one.